Paul Scholes and Jamie Carragher got it wrong mocking Victor Gyökeres over silly jeans joke. When Paul Scholes and Jamie Carragher burst into laughter at a cheap comment about Arsenal striker Victor Gyökeres, it may have seemed like harmless banter, but in reality, it said more about them than it did about the player. In today's football media landscape, in-depth analysis is too often replaced by viral soundbites and out-of-context clips, designed less to inform and more to provoke. Especially when it comes to Arsenal, a club whose passionate fanbase is frequently used as a target for easy reactions. And here we are again, watching another pointless jab at a player who hasn't even had the chance to fully lace up his boots in the Premier League. On the overlap, a rival fan quipped that Gyökeres looks like his modelling jeans, a comment that drew loud, exaggerated laughs from Scholes and Carragher. But when you strip away the theatrics, what's left is just a weak attempt to ridicule someone who, unlike many in the media, is actually doing the work on the pitch. Let's not forget, Gyökeres had already silenced early criticisms about his appearance. Yes, his appearance, by scoring a confident brace against Leeds United, complete with a cheeky celebration that said, "Keep talking." It wasn't just goals. It was a message. So why the ongoing digs? Oddly enough, it's the same pundits who've been hammering Arsenal for months about their supposed lack of a proper no. 9. Scholes has repeatedly said that Martin Degaard needs a true finisher in front of him to elevate his own game. He even floated names like Alexander Isak and John Duran as ideal upgrades, before Gyökeres arrived. And Carragher? He was one of the first to question whether Arsenal had the goalkeeper or striker required to win the Premier League. Back in November 2023, after a narrow loss, he doubted whether David Raya and the, then, attacking setup had enough firepower and composure to carry Arsenal over the line. Those comments didn't age well. Raya went on to win consecutive Golden Gloves, and Arsenal came painfully close to a title, all while playing without a true goal poacher up front. Now, just 3 games into the new season, Arsenal have signed Europe's top goalscorer over the past 2 years. And yet instead of analysing what Gyökeres brings to the system, we're stuck hearing jokes about his haircut and denim fashion sense. It's not just lazy, it's telling. Mikel Arteta, speaking candidly in Amazon's All or Nothing documentary, pointed out that the media is often quick to turn on players. Praise them one week, tear them down the next. His point rings louder than ever now. Even before Gyökeres has had a chance to properly integrate, the scrutiny is already at full volume. Yes, the Premier League is intense. Yes, expectations are sky high. But if we're judging strikers based on how they look rather than what they do on the pitch, then we've lost the plot. The good news. Victor Gyökeres seems unfazed. If anything, he feeds off the noise. His celebration after that Leeds brace wasn't just confidence, it was calm defiance. He knows the pressure. He's been doubted before. And he's answered in the only way that matters, with goals. The criticism won't stop, not even if he scores weekly. That's just how the machine works. But if Gyökeres continues to respond the way he did last time, then Arsenal may have finally found the striker they've been missing. And when he starts firing consistently, those jokes about genes will feel even more out of place than they already do. Looking ahead, the pressure on Victor Gyökeres will only intensify. Arsenal fans, hungry for silverware and consistency, are quick to celebrate a goal but just as swift to turn on players when the goals dry up. The weight of expectation on the Swedish striker is immense, especially as Arsenal looks to solidify their title challenge and make a mark in Europe. Moreover, the media's relentless spotlight on Gyökeres reflects a broader challenge for players stepping into the Premier League, where adaptation isn't just about skills but also about handling constant scrutiny and off-field distractions. How Gyökeres manages this pressure will be crucial, not just for his own development but for Arsenal's tactical plans moving forward. For Mikel Arteta, this situation underscores the importance of building a squad with mental resilience as much as technical quality. While the team's recruitment has addressed some positional needs, nurturing a supportive environment that shields players from undue criticism could prove equally vital. On the flip side, if Gyökeres proves the doubters wrong and thrives, it could shift the narrative around Arsenal's transfer strategy. The club has faced skepticism about their summer business. Many questioned whether the additions were sufficient or the right fit. A strong showing from the new striker could vindicate Arteta and the recruitment team, building trust among fans and pundits alike. In the bigger picture, this episode also highlights the often toxic nature of football commentary today. When former players and analysts choose provocation over constructive critique, it risks undermining young talents and creating unnecessary hurdles in their growth. As Arsenal enters a critical phase of the season, balancing media pressures with on-pitch performance will be a tightrope walk. But for Jayokers, the best response remains the same: let the goals do the talking. 8 players could miss Arsenal's clash with Nottingham Forest as Mikel Arteta faces injury challenges. As Arsenal prepares to take on Nottingham Forest this weekend, manager Mikel Arteta is once again grappling with a mounting injury crisis that could see up to 6 key players sidelined. During the recent international break, Arteta was forced to work with a significantly reduced squad, as most of his first-team players were away on national duty. Meanwhile, a handful of others remained behind to focus on recovery, highlighting just how deeply the injury woes have already impacted Arsenal so early in the season. Despite only playing 3 games so far, Arsenal has seen players fall ill or injured in every single match, a troubling pattern that has tested the team's depth. While this hasn't completely derailed their competitiveness, Arteta surely would have preferred to head into key fixtures with a fully fit squad. Unfortunately, that's not the case. The good news is that last summer's transfer window, which brought in 8 new players, has helped soften the blow compared to last season, when Arsenal led the Premier League with a staggering 27 separate injuries, many affecting crucial starters. Still, as this weekend's game approaches, Arteta could find himself without 6 important players once again. Among the brighter spots is Ben White, who appears to be making solid progress in his recovery. Having been substituted early in the season opener against Manchester United, the right-back has been competently replaced by Jurrien Timber. Although White may face stiff competition upon return, there's hope he'll ease back into action during Champions League and League Cup fixtures. Christian Norgard remains sidelined and has yet to make his debut. When asked after the recent victory at Old Trafford, Arteta revealed Norgard had suffered a minor setback but offered no further details. Bukayo Saka, recovering from a thigh injury sustained in the second game of the season, is also making steady progress. However, this weekend's fixture may come too soon for the talented winger. French media reported that William Saliba could be out for 2 to 3 weeks following an ankle injury suffered during the warm-up against Liverpool. Arteta confirmed Saliba twisted his ankle and had to leave the game after just a few minutes. While reports from across the channel are yet to be fully confirmed and some sources suggest the situation might be less severe, Christian Mosquera has already shown he can step up as a capable replacement. It's unlikely Saliba will rush back, especially with the tough visit from Manchester City looming in just over a week. Long-term absences continue to affect the squad, with both Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz still sidelined. Both players are targeting returns before the end of the year, with Havertz expected back ahead of his attacking partner. Nottingham Forest are also dealing with injuries of their own, notably missing Nicolas Dominguez, who suffered a serious meniscus injury and remains sidelined indefinitely. Additionally, Ola Aina, nursing a suspected thigh injury, was forced to play during international duty with Nigeria, raising concerns over his availability for the weekend. As the weekend approaches, both teams face tough decisions, but Arsenal's injury list presents a significant challenge for Arteta. How he navigates this testing period will be crucial for the Gunners' momentum in what promises to be a competitive Premier League season. Looking ahead, Arteta's challenge goes beyond simply patching up the squad. The string of injuries raises serious questions about Arsenal's depth and their ability to sustain a title challenge amid such setbacks. The team's fitness and medical staff will be under the microscope as fans and pundits alike wonder if more can be done to prevent recurring issues, especially with key players sidelined repeatedly. The injury crisis also puts greater pressure on fringe players and recent signings to step up and perform at a high level. While players like Jurrien Timber and Christian Mosquera have shown promise when called upon, relying too heavily on squad rotation risks disrupting the cohesion Arteta has worked hard to build. Furthermore, the timing of these absences couldn't be worse, with crucial fixtures against top Premier League sides and important Champions League games on the horizon. Any continued disruption to the squad could derail Arsenal's momentum, potentially impacting their position in the league and confidence heading into knockout competitions. For Nottingham Forest, this presents an opportunity to capitalise on Arsenal's weakened lineup. While Forest themselves are dealing with injuries, including the significant absence of Nicolas Dominguez, they will sense a chance to claim valuable points against one of the league's frontrunners. A positive result for Forest could boost their morale and add intrigue to the Premier League race. The ripple effects of this injury situation are likely to extend beyond the pitch as well. Arsenal's transfer strategy and recruitment policies may come under further scrutiny if the team struggles to maintain consistency. Supporters will be watching closely to see if Arteta can navigate this tough patch without compromising the club's ambitions. Ultimately, how Arsenal manages these challenges could define their season. Success will depend not only on the returning fitness of stars like Ben White, Bukayo Saka, and William Saliba but also on the squad's resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. As the weekend approaches, all eyes will be on Arteta and his team to see if they can rise above these hurdles and continue their push for silverware. The next few weeks will be a crucial test of character, depth, and determination for the Gunners.